Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to my Future Has Been Face Fucked episode 4. I'm your host, Sean Deegan, and with me today is Dan. Say hello, Dan.
Hello.
That's Dan. We saw a movie this weekend, and we saw the movie Chronicle, the found footage, or actually more of POV cam footage. It's not really a found footage movie.
No,
Superhero flick. And so we're going to talk about that, our thoughts on that, and then we're going to just kind of discuss found footage movies in general. Like the horror movies, not horror movies. Most of them are horror movies.
I think all of them.
Yeah, pretty much that's kind of what they do with that genre. Yeah, so most of the time, I mean, that's what the genre ends up getting used for.
Well, it makes it that genre more exciting because you feel like it's really happening. I mean, it gives you that sense of
Well, I mean, there's kind of like a split camp in those movies because it's like there's people that like them or they don't like them. I've never really met somebody that was kind of lukewarm to them because you have to go on major. It depends how much you can attach yourself to it, or it's not really suspending your disbelief, but it's like those movies especially, how much you're willing to put yourself in that position.
Well, forget that it is a movie and
and just go along for the ride,
right.
And and that's, I remember
pretty much like any movie, but
I like having any movie, but you
yeah.
need to do it even more so, I think, for those movies, in my opinion.
No, yeah. I mean, you gotta really set yourself apart from the fact that even though you're watching a movie, but the fact that it's a found footage, it gives it more of that sense of reality.
No, you gotta just suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
Anyway, so first thing we're gonna talk about Chronicle, which I don't know. What did you think of it overall?
I really enjoyed Chronicle. I thought for a movie that's only 84 minutes, it's really paced well, and it gives you like the characters. I feel like they fleshed them out really well in that short amount of time, and you kind of get the sense of I guess at the end you kind of feel like, oh, that's the way it should end, and it was a good ending, and the story is it's very stereotypical, but they do it in a really good way. Yeah. I mean, it's the villain story.
It's just every superhero story you've ever heard before, just done. It's just stripped to its barest of essentials and done well, and that's kind of a thing nowadays. A lot of movies that it's just something another movie, that's nothing like Chronicle, but it's similar in the construction of it, was Drive. That movie Drive there's nothing in that movie that it will blow you away, or there's no twist that was surprising. There's no gimmicky storytelling stuff. It's just a really simple story,
and it's well done.
Just really well done,
right.
And Chronicle definitely falls into that camp where it's just it was just really well done. I kind of feel the same way that Dan does. I did enjoy it. I think it took me 20 minutes to get into it, before I was kind of along for the ride.
No, yeah, definitely. Up till the main.
And it has some of the climax at the end of the movie is one of the best, basically spoiler alert, superhero fights ever.
Yeah, I mean,
the most effective. And I was thinking about it the other day, and the reason why it's so effective is because of the whole emotional attachment you have. And because it's really about friends and not being friends anymore.
Right. I mean, it kind of reminded me a lot of Magneto and Professor X.
Yeah. Well, it's the
same thing.
It's the same type of story.
It's the same storyline. They start out as I'm not the same. But
it's the
same. Plot,
it's the same storyline for any villain, or hero supervillain dynamic that there is in any comic book, in any story.
They start out as friends, and then you're not friends anymore. They decide two separate paths. Then they both think they're right.
I mean, there's things in Chronicle that that are really heavy-handed and kind of distracting sometimes. The thing about the main character, the kid who has control of the camera most of the time. He comes from an abusive home and stuff like that. It's the movie's riddled with cliches and could have been really bad, really easily been bad.
Yeah.
It was like it's because of the direction and some of the writing.
And the acting was very good too.
Acting was good.
The acting was good.
The script was decent. Like it wasn't anything. It's not really blown away. I guess
teenager kids, man.
Yeah, it's teenager kids being assholes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I did kind of appreciate though that like you take the idea of like 17 or 18-year-olds that would get superpowers.
They would do those types of things. Which if you've seen the trailer, you've seen what they've done. So.
Yeah, they would do that kind of stuff, but they wouldn't because like they wouldn't be out like looking for people to pull out of burning buildings. They would be like fucking around.
Basically, but like what I thought,
and like that's a good thing. Like,
well, what I thought was interesting.
They fuck around.
Is that that's how they took it at first, and I don't know if this would be considered a spoiler alert, but they understand that they're getting too powerful and that they can't abuse their powers like that, and that's where they draw a line eventually, and they make the rules, the 3 rules, whatever it is, to like never hurt living things.
You don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
You don't talk about Fight Club.
And that was probably that was the best part of the film to me, was the fact that there's an obvious like line where that you should not be crossed, and
well, they have to set that up. They have to set a boundary. They have to give that other the villain kid like something to step over, something to take it too far, like,
right,
and so they set that thing up. I mean, because
they have to set themselves apart from him too at the same time. They have to set apart the characters. Like if one is going to be bad, they have to give the basis. What will he do? I mean, just besides good moral conscience and things, well, like because he does have a point.
No, but that's I know. Stuff, but there's, I don't guess I just don't know what the point is you're making.
That like to set apart the good guys and the bad guys, they have to make a set of rules, and one individual has to obviously break those rules, which is what you were just saying. But in the other side, what I thought they did really well is that the reason I think they gave the cliche of like the father being abusive but then the mother who's very sick, the reason he broke those rules towards the end of the film is because he wanted to help his mother, and... No,
I mean, but that's the road to hell is paved in good intentions kind of type of thing.
Right.
I mean, that's just really what it is. And, if you were picked on, bullied, what would happen if you had these powers? And, like, you wouldn't be able to control yourself, I guess, being able, like, defending yourself.
Right.
Like, I don't think anybody could. Like, if they were getting smacked around and stuff like that, there would come a point if you had all these great powers that you'd be like, well, fuck you, and just force push you into the wall.
Not everyone's Clark Kent.
Jedi style. Clark Kent was a bitch. I hate Superman. I don't know. Oh, I don't hate him, but like I think he's a little overrated.
I mean, All-Star Superman was pretty cool.
He's the crappiest of all the superheroes. All-Star Superman was good, but it's not good in like the way that like a visceral or like really exciting. It was good because they're like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah,
that was a
you
nice
get this sense of kind of like, ooh.
That was a real nice story there.
I mean, I don't know, but it was pretty good. I'll give Chronicle like a 8.5.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 probably. 7 to 8 out of 10. Like. It's worth going to see in the theater. I hope people do go see it in the theater because the guy who wrote it is Max Landis, and that's John Landis' son. And if you're a nerd, you know who John Landis is. John Landis was the director of Animal House and American Werewolf in London. And,
wow.
Those type of movies. And this is his kid's like first movie that he wrote and got made.
And
the director, this is also
give it a thumbs up.
Yeah,
sure. 2 thumbs up.
This is the director's first film as well. And they're 2 young, just up and coming dudes, and it was nice. It's nice to see some kind of fresh
faces, fresh
blood out there in the old Hollywood landscape making movies, because movies are in danger of becoming like stale and fucking repetitive. Right.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
we reboot movies like 10 years after like the first one came out.
Like Spider-Man.
Like Spider-Man or anything.
And they are doing the Superman, which looks good. Man of Steel looks good. That does look like... I mean, just from what I've read about it. And Henry Cavill, the guy who's playing Superman, looks like he might do a pretty decent job.
Yeah, no, he looks like Superman. Good. Yeah. And it's got a good cast.
I mean, because you can do Superman well. I mean, there's just never been one that's been awesome.
No, you could do Superman really well.
I mean, I just don't understand. How can you fuck up Superman? He's got, like... I guess it's because he's got every power. He's got real... Like, the only thing he has against him is kryptonite.
The only person who's fucked up Superman is Bryan Singer.
Yeah, but even the older ones...
Bryan Singer, and the only reason he fucked up Superman is because he didn't, like, do his own thing with it. Like, he was just like, oh, I'm just going to make Superman 3.
Bryan Singer, that's X-Men guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the original X-Men director. And going back and watching those movies, they're not that good either. So, we've talked about this before. Spider-Man is a far superior
Spider-Man's way better than
trilogy
X-Men.
than X-Men trilogy. Like,
Yeah,
even
no.
if you can take away the
X-Men
third one,
trilogy,
then,
X-Men X2 is the only really good one.
yeah, definitely.
Like that one that holds up. It holds up like pretty well as X2. X-Men 1 is pretty bad.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, but a lot of it's not terrible, but it's really short. It's like 85 minutes long, and like it's the origin story, and like so you never really get a good sense of all the characters.
Don't even get us started on Wolverine.
And Wolverine, the origins doesn't even count. That movie's just garbage.
I mean, it's pretty bad. I was kind of expecting more out of that. But.
X-Men First Class was actually pretty awesome, though.
No, X-Men First Class was probably the best Marvel movie to come out.
That's the best X-Men flick, yeah.
But even the best Marvel movie to come out that year. The Marvel movie to come out that year?
Yeah, but it's not technically part of those. It's not part of the Avengers stuff.
Yeah, but it's still a Marvel movie, right?
It's Marvel and like the franchise. It's a Marvel comic book. I mean,
yeah.
But it's not a Marvel like Studios movie.
It's really not a Marvel Studios movie?
No, it's just Fox owns it, and the reason why they made X-Men First Class because they were about to lose the rights. They're also pushing a new Fantastic Four reboot into the pipeline. Actually, with the kid who did the guy who directed Chronicle, they're looking at him to direct it, so that might be good actually. And I like the Fantastic Four. I thought the movies were okay. I thought they were okay.
Entertaining to a point.
They're okay. Like I've seen worse fucking things. I think just like. Whenever like these movies they go and like they change like the weird shit, like they just change like weird like little details that are unnecessary, like like the Doctor Doom stuff they like just fucked around and changed. All right, we're talking about superhero movies. We're not supposed to be talking about superhero movies. We'll save that for a different one.
Okay.
Sounds going off on like a 2-hour tangent on the merits.
Well, anyway, Chronicles.
I'll say this. This is what I'll say. Chronicles worth seeing, and those fucking stupid Avengers movies suck. That's my final word.
Avenger movies hasn't come out yet.
Avenger movies? I call those Captain America, Iron Man 2, and Thor.
And
all fairly mediocre movies at best. At best, mediocre.
It's not even getting to DC like fucking goddamn
Green Lantern. Oh well.
All right. Anyway,
so
back to the found footage.
Chronicle really good. But like we said, it's Chronicles. We're talking about the found footage movies with Chronicle because Chronicle is kind of like the extension of where those movies are, and I think in a good way. Like it's a good direction to take these kind of found footage movies, so you're not like locked into this rigid fucking thing, and it's not really a movie, It's just an experience, kind of.
Pretty much.
Because it's basically just a POV movie. All the footage you're seeing are of people that have like cameras that are just around. They just happen to have cameras out at parties and stuff like that. So you see through those lenses. Mostly it's from the one, but
that new one that we saw, Project X, that looked like it might be okay. I kind of want to see that.
Project X, yeah, that's another and it's kind of looks like to be in a somewhat similar vein. These kids throw a party and they're recording it for posterity.
And it's like this huge party.
It's a big fucking nightmare party.
Yeah, I just kind of want to check that.
It looks interesting.
With the producer of Hangover and Superbad and
Todd Phillips.
Yeah. So I mean, it might be okay. I'll go check it out.
I'll check it out. Oh, it looks like it'll be like entertaining distraction.
Yeah, for that couple hours.
It's like a movie about douchebags, but whatever. I mean, every movie is about douchebags if you really look at it. If you really think about it.
Except Batman. Batman's not about douchebags.
Yeah, actually, Batman's kind of the ultimate douchebag.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He's I'm super rich and I got all these gadgets, yo.
He's not a douchebag. He's awesome.
Give me some of that fucking pussy,
makes me happy,
girl.
Dude. Makes me happy.
He's George Bush's wet dream.
Yeah.
He's fucking like a right wing nuts wet dream. That's what Batman.
All right, we get off topic again. Can't do this anymore.
No. So basically, yeah. So I guess I don't know.
Chronicle's worth going to see. You gotta go see it. Check it out if you like superhero movies.
I think found footage movies. They've been around for a while. The first one that
caught our eye. Anyway.
Well, the first one, it's not really that caught our eye, but the first one that was popular for a while. Because actually, if you want to go all the way back, Cannibal Holocaust is the first found footage. That's a found footage movie, and not a found footage movie. So it's kind of, but it kind of was the first movie to dabble in that.
Yeah.
And then it kind of really disappeared for a long time, and there was other examples, but mostly kind of disappeared until Blair Witch Project.
Yep, I was about to say that.
I kind of like. That movie blew up, and then they tried to like make a few kind of imitators of that, and like at the time, people just weren't having it. Like Blair Witch was just like a weird kind of thing that just got popular for no real reason.
I mean, like when you were growing up, that you were at the age where when you watched it, you know, like I remember watching it when I was young.
I was like 14.
Yeah, you know, and I was like 6 years younger. I really didn't.
Right, actually, no, I might have been like 12 or 13.
Well, because I remember being young, like when it first came out, and so when I watched it, I didn't really, you know, it scared me, of course, and everything, and I know it kind of creeped you guys out because you know we lived in the woods.
Actually, it didn't creep me out because I watched the fucking movie like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. Like it was the first time I saw that movie.
Man,
and it's just
rookie
like
mistake.
And I couldn't like suspend my disbelief, or I couldn't just like emotionally attach to it. I couldn't put myself.
Well, there's not a whole lot to it.
Into the scenario, like I just couldn't do it.
Well, after I
was only 12, so like I didn't have any like sense of really.
I don't know. I just didn't. I mean, as the starter, I could say that's for me that's the first one I've seen, and that wasn't very good.
I think Blair Witch. I actually liked it more now than when I was younger. Like I kind of appreciate like how they made the movie more than maybe the actual movie.
Yeah, I can see that, but the movie's pretty. It's because nothing ever fucking happens. It's just kind of.
No, then things do happen, but it's like a series.
Playing rocks together too.
Yeah, but that's what we would. If
the suspense was good.
No, but it's putting you into this situation. Like when you go out camping or something, you hear like somebody walking around in the woods. That would be fucking scary.
Oh, I've had it happen. I know.
It's unsettling, and if you can't like put yourself into the shoes of the campers, those people, then you're not gonna be able to be affected by it. Like you have to allow yourself.
Well, plus then so much scarier things have come out. So it's kind of like trying to go back and watch The Exorcist. It's not as scary as it was back then.
It's because we're so desensitized. We're so used to those things, and like the Blair Witch Project is pretty like pedestrian in comparison to what we were used to watching.
No, yeah, definitely.
I mean, because it was a long time. And, what is it? Nothing really happened with the found footage movies for a while. I mean, there was things like some failed attempts. There was like this movie called the Poughkeepsie Tapes that was like made and never released.
But that wasn't bad. I didn't think it was that bad. I enjoyed watching it. Like it was entertaining to me.
No, it was.
You know, like if you want to see like one that you haven't seen yet, go check. If you like found footage, Poughkeepsie Tapes.
It's a found footage like thriller. It's not a horror movie. It's not a monster. It's basically just like a fucking sicko.
It kind of seems like a documentary.
It is. Well, it is. It's presented like a documentary.
Yeah.
It's presented like a
documentary.
Like a documentary, not a found footage movie.
Right.
Actually, it's presented as It's a faux documentary.
Well, we could talk about the first 5 minutes of District 9.
Actually, the first hour, first 45 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. You know.
First 40
cuts in and out,
and which is good. It's fine. Like it never bothered me either. Like some people, they found that really distracting.
Yeah, that was a big problem with a lot of people saying, "Well, it just confused me."
Like, why did it confuse you?
How the fuck
like,
they went?
It's documentary footage, and then it's not anymore, and then it's just a regular movie. Like,
right,
and it's
and
fine.
People talking about what was going on, and whatever. But you know,
bunch of stupid idiots.
And so what was the next one that kind of popped up?
Probably Paranormal Activity.
No, Quarantine came out before.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Is it Quarantine? Are you sure they didn't come out before Paranormal Activity?
Yes. And Quarantine.
What about The Fourth Kind?
Is The Wreck. It is actually just a remake of a Spanish movie called Wreck.
But what about The Fourth Kind?
Fourth Kind is way after that stuff. I mean, those movies, I think they were already in production when Paranormal Activity was in production.
Well, I guess they got lucky because it was already made.
Well, Paranormal Activity sat on a shelf for 2 years after it was made. There was a long period of time where like the guy was just in festivals and like he had gotten offers like, oh well, we can give you the straight to DVD kind of release for it, and he didn't want to do that, so he stuck to his guns, and then Steven Spielberg ended up watching it, and
look, he
the
can
rest
still
is
do
history.
Good things. Can still do good things.
And now we get a new Paranormal. That's the new Halloween franchise, basically. That's their new thing that we get every Halloween.
And they've all been pretty decent, so
there hasn't been
not a bomb, like nasty,
not a totally bomb. And like, but it's the whole. Those movies are totally predicated on like how much you're willing to invest of yourself into that situation, and how much you're willing to just suspend your disbelief. If you can't get into those movies and stuff, they'll never work for you. Doesn't matter which one it is; they'll just never work for you. But Paranormal Activity is like definitely. I don't know. I mean, I really like it. Like, I really enjoy those movies for some reason.
I remember the first time I watched it. It was awesome. I really had fun watching the first Paranormal Activity.
I did too, and a lot of it had been a long time since I'd watched a movie done in that style. And I'm already I kind of like documentaries and stuff like that in general, anyways. So like, I'm very familiar and accepting of the format of the style, like the shaky cam, people holding cameras and stuff. Like, I'm used to that because I watch, you watch so many documentaries and stuff, and it's actually like was the first movie in a long time that kind of actually creeped me out.
Yeah, no, it was definitely you got the creepiness factor in there.
I mean, people can people are always bitching about like, oh, it's so unrealistic. People wouldn't fight like that. It's just like, oh, yes, they do. Like, you just, like, like, people do act like that. Like, how would you act? Should Mika have been, like, would he have given up the camera thing a little earlier? Probably.
He should have.
Probably, but...
You gotta remember, people are pretty stupid.
But yeah.
People are pretty stupid. People who like Avatar are pretty stupid.
This is my house. This is my girlfriend. I mean, Mika sucks. But
and he burns the fucking cross like it was, like, so stupid. Like, man, that was just a nail in the coffin for you, Mika. I was like, that's it. You don't even got faith anymore.
Burn the
Have
cross?
You not? Yeah, he does. He throws it in the fire because she's holding it, and she's hands are bleeding, and he throws in the cross. Yeah, dude.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's the first one.
I don't remember him throwing it in any fire.
He did. He threw it he burned it. I'm pretty damn sure.
I don't remember that. It's been a while since I've watched the first Paranormal Activity.
It's about time to relook.
Well, I mean, like, so Paranormal Activity 1 was pretty good, and then they had Paranormal Activity 2 came out, which I was pretty excited for. It's the weakest one. Oh, actually, maybe not. I don't know. 2 or 3, they're pretty even for me.
I find the third one better. I like the third one more just because of the fact that, I mean, it's just better.
You get a lot
of done.
You actually get a lot of explanation in the third one, too.
But, I mean, come on, the end of the third one? That shit was pretty.
No, but like good. they just explain things to you in the third one. Like at the end, that last 15 minutes of the third one tells you the origin of all the stuff, and the other movie doesn't. Like Paranormal Activity 2 feels like Paranormal Activity 2. It feels like the middle part of a larger thing.
Yeah, a little dry. That was still good.
It's dull and stuff. I mean, like, but it's still pretty good, and it kind of dovetails nicely into the first one. Like, it connects them all together pretty well.
Right.
Actually, recently they've released a Paranormal Activity, the Chronology, but it's like a download only thing, and it's just like I haven't done it yet. But I would actually really like to watch it. They edited all the movies together in chronological order, so not in order of release.
So it's gonna be like 3.5 hours, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 hours or longer than that, 4 hours or something.
I hope it's 4 hours.
And they added,
like that.
But I guess there's footage in there that haven't been in any other releases.
And is it just
which
me?
I think is bullshit, to be honest.
Oh no, dude, that's awesome.
No, but it's not fair for people. Like, what if you already own...
It's a point of sale value.
Well, I know. I mean, it's not that. It's like $25. So if you were going to, like, buy Paranormal Activity 3... But the thing is, it's not on a disc. Like, it's only downloadable only, and it's just...
I mean, it sucks, but let me tell you something.
That bothers me for some reason.
I can see it bothering you, but, I mean, it just gives... It gives that little extra to someone, like, screw someone over. And then they're going to go out and buy something like Netflix or... like, to get, like... Not Netflix, excuse me, but, like... To go have PlayStation Network account just so you can... You know, they might not have took the time to set it up before or do some crap, you know? So they're like, oh, now I really want this. So I'm going to... It's a sell thing. Right? So
I don't know about that.
At least that's the way I would do it.
I think it's bullcrap. He should have just put it in a store and sold it for $30. I would have bought it.
I would have bought it.
I would have bought it. I would have bought it
if they're all Blu-ray, $40.
No, just one. Just put the chronology. I would just bought the chronology.
Yeah, that would have been good.
And if you had Blu-ray, you could make like the branching thing, so you could watch. Like they have the technology where you could just watch. If you wanted to watch Paranormal Activity 1, you could, independent of the chronology. because Blu-ray you can do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little irritating for me. I don't know. I'll probably get it eventually, but haven't checked it out yet.
Yep. But the third one.
The third one was okay.
Third one was pretty decent. I mean, I'll give it.
It's got some good scares.
It's just I feel like for me it goes the first one, the third one, and the second one. But it's just because of the fact that I mean I guess you finally get some like answers. It makes you really like the third one a lot.
Well, but I think the third one is the most gimmicky out of all of them. It's like gimmicky, because they have the thing. Like what I mean is like he has like he puts a camera on like an oscillating fan.
Oh yeah, I mean that shit was kind of stupid, but
it's not stupid. It's just like they did it 6 times in the movie.
But I'm saying, all right,
like to the same effect, pretty much. Like to give you like make you a jump scare. Like
I mean, yeah, I mean, but so okay. You gotta suspend your disbelief. Just go whatever. That's the way I looked at that stuff. Like I mean can a battery really last that long? No. Can the tape? Who's changing the tapes? No.
No, I'm not talking about like the. No, you have to, like, the reality of those things, it's not fucking real. Like, get over it, people. Like, it doesn't have to, like, fit into our real world rules. Like, but this is supposed to be, like, realistic. It's like, dude, it's still a fucking movie. No matter what it's supposed to be. There is no fucking haunted house. There's no demon haunting a family. So it doesn't bother me if there's no fucking power cable from the camera to the wall.
Which could be very well be true. If there could be power cable. I've thought of that before, but
no, but you don't see any. That's
right. So it's all circumstantial, basically.
Oh, it's just a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of things that don't make sense in those movies, and you kind of just have to let that crap go.
I mean, yeah, because and if anyone's really watching that for like some dramatic, to actually be like moved or like you just need to watch a movie to try to get fucking scared. I mean, you want to watch something that kind of scares you a little bit, freaks you out. That's why you watch those movies. You're not watching for some great story, for great plot twists or anything. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, for me personally, I kind of like the small scares, like those things that kind of get your heart going for a little while. That's just me. Like that's why I like the first one so much, because it's constant.
Because the first one is the one that's probably paced the best. Like, it builds the tension as it goes. It builds the dread in you. Because most of the movie are things that are noises and scratches and this and that.
Yeah.
That's what most of the movies are comprised of. Actually, all of them. Like, that's what, like, the first 2/3 of those movies, that's all it is. And the reason they do that is because of the idea that that's what you hear that creeps you out when you're in your house in regular life.
Right.
Like, you hear, like, a door open, then you don't think anybody's home, or you hear some scratching, or sounds like
footsteps upstairs.
Sounds like somebody slams into the window, but it's a branch, like shit like that. Like that's what scares you in everyday life. That's what can give you like a fright,
Yeah.
And when they put it in the movie, and then they're like, yeah, but it's not. It's actually like a demon. This makes it creepier.
Well, I mean, but even just from like the.
And then Katie gets pulled off the bed.
But
and
see, the difference between like a found footage like movie like Paranormal Activity. And like The Exorcist, is that all those same things pretty much happen. I mean, I'm just talking about like the scratches, you hear the footsteps, but it's mice upstairs, whatever, but I don't know why, but there's some like mental thing that when I watched, like Paranormal Activity, I get a lot more scared.
It's because it's the presentation. Like, there is no fact that... But there's no camera moves. There's nothing. You can't see anything. That's what's creepy. Because you have the cameras locked off in their bedroom whenever anything happens, right?
Well, it just makes
and all you can see is, like, down... You can see down the hallway. You can see that there's a hallway there and stuff, but you can't see anything there. Like, if it was in The Exorcist, there would be, like, a fucking camera dolly out of the door. And, and then you would hear something, and it would be, like... It would be theatrical. There's less artifice in these kind of movies than there is in something like The Exorcist, because for sure this is a movie. It's got camera moves. It's got a set. It's fake blood.
All I can say is the best scare of the year, though, is Insidious. That was best scare of the year.
Was that this year? No, that was
last year.
2011.
But whatever. Best scare of like recent movies come out.
I think the first half of Insidious is great. And it really drops the ball. The drops the ball that last 40 minutes of that movie was like, oh man, what the fuck. Because you had such a good thing, and then it gets like goofy. Gets like wacky.
I mean, they just went for something, and they tried something different, which I can respect. I could be like, I guess, they tried to do something that's otherworldly. They just did it in a way that I guess I didn't visualize it. I didn't see the world looking that way, and I guess the majority of people felt the same way. So,
well, that was the problem with their third act in general. The way they went with that story was that they were forced to do something that they couldn't really do.
Right.
Because, and it's not even, I don't even care about the world or whatever. It's just like, I don't like suddenly like they're fighting Darth Maul. Like it's. It's not. It's supposed to be like a creepy haunted house movie, not like it's a battle, this demon here, like physical battle. Like it's just.
I mean, there's moments at the
end.
But
at the end, it kind of saves itself a little bit at the end for me because I kind of like that like ridiculous shit that happens in the last 30 seconds of the movie. But anyways, so back to the Paranormal Activity movies. Yeah. So.
Pretty good. They're good.
I think they're good.
As a whole, I'd give them like probably 7.5, 7.5.
As a like whole. A series whole?
Yeah, as a whole. Because, like if you...
I'd give them a 7, yeah. 7 out of 10.
7.5.
Whatever that means.
Maybe even an 8. It depends on my day. Like if I'm because I love showing people scary movies. I like actually doing that more than watching the scary movies. Because you get this sense of gratification when you see someone get scared.
Yeah.
So, and plus you can like, when a scary part's about to come up, so you're like, I gotta go take a shit. And then you never really go to the bathroom.
No, I don't. I've never done that.
Oh, it's awesome. And then you just wait for the right moment. Oh, I've made full-grown men scream like little girls. It's awesome.
By full-grown men, he means a 19-year-old.
Hey, man, fuck it now. Someone's 21. He's 21.
He's not a full-grown man.
That's a man.
Sure. What else is like other found footage movies? The Last Exorcism, which is a relatively new. I think it's 2010 that movie came out.
That was good.
That's really good. It's not a scary movie. It's more of a character piece.
It's about a man finding his faith.
It's about this preacher basically who's lost his faith in exorcisms. He does it because it's kind of a family.
And God. He doesn't even believe in God.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in God. Yeah. He doesn't believe in it all anymore because of kids dying during exorcisms. And so basically what he's done is he's allowed a documentary crew to follow him as he tries to debunking exorcisms. Because what he does is he goes to people's houses and fakes an exorcism with like all these with smoke and lights and all this, like all this very theatrical, because he knows that if a person thinks that they have something wrong with them and you can fix their fake problem, they'll feel better. And that's true. I mean, people are like that. And it's really good. But it's totally more of a character like story, character piece.
Still got some good scares. Got some but it's a pretty decent movie. I mean, if you want to see something that really scares you, I wouldn't recommend to watch it. It's not like really scary. I mean, you're not really like
no, it's not that kind of movie at all. It's like a slow burn the entire time. It's more of like a mystery, kind of like always kind of trying to figure out what's going on and what's happening. And
good ending. Though.
Is it really is this girl really possessed or is she just crazy? And you never know. Like, and you're always the movie's always kind of keeping you on your toes.
I mean, it's pretty. I'll say though, as a movie, just enjoying watching it, I liked it. I liked watching it.
Oh, I liked it a lot myself as well. Yeah.
And we didn't get to see that new found footage movie that just came out. The other exorcism one.
Oh, the Devil Inside.
Yeah, she's like,
I heard it's pretty terrible.
Right.
Because it's like cashing in on the fact that found footage movies are popular right now, or they have been for the past few years. And that's what happens, and you get things that are kind of cheap imitations of it. Actually, it's another like fake documentary that was really good. I think it's called Lake Mungo.
Is that the one about the girl?
The little girl that dies,
drowns. Yes.
And like
it's not Lake Mungo. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and like she's a ghost.
That was a good one. That was actually good.
It's really like, even though it's a fake documentary and like a lot of the acting and everything's good. Really good.
Yeah, that was a good
Everything's
one.
really like, and they do it in such a straight laced, like it feels like you're really watching like this documentary about this girl that got murdered and that was haunting her parents, and it's really kind of unsettling.
She didn't get murdered. No.
Well, not murdered. She drowns or whatever. Like, she dies, and she's like haunting her parents. Like, it's actually like kind of a creepy movie.
A couple good twists, couple good surprises that I didn't see coming personally.
And they're good twists actually,
Yeah,
because it's their twists that like bring the movie back down from the fantastical, like grounds it.
Yeah.
And then you find out like, oh no, but it really was happening. Like,
Holy shit! Yeah, no, that was a good one. I forgot about Lake Mungo. I haven't seen that in a couple of years, but. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it's on. I saw it on. It was on
Netflix. Yeah, that's where I watched
streaming.
It, so
Lake Mungo, that was pretty awesome. And then you got stuff like Quarantine, Wreck, which actually Quarantine 2 is on Netflix right now.
Really?
Yes, they made a sequel.
They did.
But they made a sequel that's not the same like sequel that they like. The Spanish sequel, Wreck 2, is like. It's okay. It's pretty cool. You find out it's like, oh, they're demons. It turns into like a possession fucking movie. Like the first Wreck in Quarantine, it's just like these people get locked in basically in this apartment building. And
it wasn't like zombies, right? That's
like,
what I got.
It's like they're like got infected with this thing and kind of turns them into zombies. It's kind of like that 28 Days Later.
I like the end, though. The end was good. The end of Quarantine, the first one. Not the original, but the first one. Whatever.
Oh, they both end the same way.
Oh, they do in the same exact way?
Quarantine is literally like that's the closest thing I've ever seen. It's like almost exactly the same as Wreck.
The end?
It is the same. The ending's exactly the same.
Dude, that was a good ending. I liked how like she's like
That was
and
okay.
they the whole time, man, the picture is her, the last picture you see of her. Remember that? Like that's the only picture they show on the posters was her like this. And it's actually the last time you see it.
Yeah.
It was a good foreshadowing.
It was actually kind of shitty that they did that, to be honest, because it just gives it away. It gives it away.
I didn't fucking see it.
It gives it. They should have never even implied that character gets dragged off into the dark. Why would you
I'm not even
that?
talking about that. I'm just talking about like if you had never seen a trailer, if you had never seen anything, and the only pictures they were showing
was the poster for it.
Yeah, the poster was just her like that, and like I never noticed it until like the end of the movie. I was like, oh, that's what that was. That was smart to me, but. I don't know. I liked the end of Quarantine.
Quarantine was okay. Like it wasn't bad at all. It was very entertaining.
You just can't really hate those movies. I don't know what it is.
I have a lot of patience for those movies. There's one, like the Paranormal Activity ripoff.
Oh, Paranormal Entity, which was okay.
It's actually okay.
That was decent.
It's made by this company called Asylum, and they're like basically their claim to fame is like making like.
Good ripoff.
Shitty knockoff movies, yeah, like Transmorphers and stuff like that. That's what they do.
Really, they
their own Sherlock Holmes like type stuff. Like they make they're like, oh, what's coming out, and then they make a movie that has a similar title to it, like to confuse people at Blockbuster. That's really why they do it. And they did a Paranormal Activity one that ended up being like okay. It's not great, but like
decent.
if you like those, if you like those movies in general, like you could totally sit through that and like enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's actually a couple kind of creepy fucking parts in that movie.
I thought we were watching the same movie for a while. I didn't notice till like 20 minutes in. I was like, who the hell are all these different people? What's going on? But I mean, it's pretty decent. Paranormal Entity's a fun one.
Yeah, it's more.
It's on Netflix. So
that's fun. That's also on the old Netflix streaming there.
Yep, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Shit, there's not many other ones we can talk about, I guess. I mean, I can't think of any. Dude, what's other? The Fourth Kind?
The Fourth Kind is kind of like...
It's like half
but it's like half like recreation, half like
by.
Documentary footage.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one really counts. It's pretty mediocre.
It was alright. What was it? No damn man is in this town.
Like they have this... They have
great actors, too.
Well, they have actually some pretty decent actors, like Elias Koteas and... That guy. The other guy.
Mila Jovovich, whatever the hell, Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich.
Whatever her name is.
And, it's like, there's a character in there, he's like the sheriff of this town in Alaska. And, like, no matter what he sees and shit, like, he just refuses to accept that there's aliens. It's ridiculous, because
there's
like,
so much evidence.
There's literally a UFO, like, over this woman's house. Like, stealing her kids. And he's like, no, there's no UFO there. Like,
where's your children?
He's there, and he's there. And there's big, bright lights like coming through the windows and shit, and he just refuses to believe it. Like, who would know?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what you did with your kids.
And he has this awesome handlebar mustache.
He does. He has a pretty sweet stash in that flick.
That is probably the best.
I'm trying to remember the dude's name, but I can't.
He's in Mothman Prophecies.
He's in
the Mothman. Is it the Mothman?
He's in the Postman. He's in fucking.
He's in everything.
He's in the Tom Jane Punisher.
Yeah, he's the gay guy.
He's the gay dude.
Yeah.
The basically like John Travolta's like right hand man.
Yeah.
Right hand job man.
He's a good. That was alright. But
I haven't seen the fourth kind since the movie theater.
Yeah, neither. I actually think.
I don't really want to ever see it again.
I don't feel like wasting it. I remember like.
I think the disappointing part about that was it was like the footage stuff, like the fake real footage, looked really good. Like they did a really good job with it. Like it creeped the hell out of me.
Yeah, that part with the guy in the bed.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's kind of creepy.
Like there were parts that were good, but.
And then it's just
like there's not enough of that footage.
No, but they made like this really weird. It's basically like Unsolved Mysteries, the movie. Like, why'd you do that? Like, why didn't you just make like one or the other?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like the beginning of the movie, the actors and the director come out like and announce, like she's like, I'm the actress Mila Jovovich, and I will be portraying. And it's just like, why? Why say you're doing a dramatic recreation? Just tell the fucking story. Don't need this weird meta fourth wall crap.
I mean,
I'm tired of it.
I mean, I guess just to send something out there to be like, to make you feel like it's even more real. Because they say that in the beginning of everything. This is filmed between so-and-so, and this is what happened.
Well, it's just like, or this is based on a true story.
Right.
My favorite...
Fargo
is not at all based on a true story. And they were just like... And when somebody asked them about it, they said, well, who said you can't do that? Who said you can't say that, even if it's not true, as part of the story?
I mean, that's how every story starts. I mean, even if you're lying, like every scary story, you know, it's based on real true events. But I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like one that's like really bad. I mean, there are some like Gacy House. There's like some shit like I haven't even been able to sit through. Like a lot of stuff that's on Netflix, like they're like really super low budget and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not it's just they're just badly done.
I mean, what didn't they film?
And I can't
Activity for $11,000.
Yeah, something like that.
And that's the highest grossing film ever made. Just because of that.
By comparatively to the budget, but also they don't account for marketing and the retooling and the reshoot stuff they did.
But I mean, still, it's nowhere comparable to like Iron Man.
They probably threw $30 million into advertising that flick.
Just nothing compared to most films, right?
No, they've marketed like a big movie. That's what they did, and they had like special preview screenings, and you know they went out there. They did a good job. Mm-hmm. Trying to like build momentum for that flick,
and they did well. Obviously, they're on their fourth one now. They're gonna make another one, so we'll see that come next October, I guess, huh?
Yeah, this coming October there'll be the next one. Paranormal Activity 4. Fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. It's gonna have to come back to the future. That was a good joke they threw in the third.
Back to the Future.
It's back to the present.
Yeah.
It's back to the future.
No,
technically it's back to the past.
I wish they would just do a merging of Paranormal Activity and Back to the Future, and you find out that it's all happening in the same universe.
That would be pretty awesome.
Like, you know, like you just see like the found footage of like somebody seeing like the Doc and Marty and his girlfriend take off at the end of the Back to the Future one. Like, what the fuck was that?
Oh shit!
Oh my god, we're being invaded. And then it becomes like an invasion, like panic movie, and he kills his family. Spare them.
Yeah.
Spare them having to live through this alien invasion that's not coming. He fucking kills his whole family.
Tom Cruise should have done, but anyway.
So Tom Cruise is probably gonna do that and be like, you know what Elron said.
Oh yeah.
He's like, they have all my secrets. I have to stay in this religion.
Yeah.
It's a crazy cult.
Did he try to get out or something?
It is a fucking privilege to be a Scientologist.
Yeah. Study of religion.
Just, you know, it's a reference to an old thing he did. He did this promotional video for Scientology. He's like, being a Scientologist is like being the best person in the world. You're just better than people.
I mean, come on, we got John Travolta.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Too bad him and his retarded son died. We wouldn't do anything about it because we don't believe in medicine.
Yeah.
We believe in Scientology.
Bunch of fucking weirdos.
His thetan levels just weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? They had just low thetan levels. That's what happens. You just die.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
maybe he accidentally crapped them all out.
You think?
Yeah.
So what happened?
The thetans jumped ship. I'm like, man, this kid's retarded. He's like literally and figuratively. This kid's an asshole.
He's retarded in every way. I mean, poor John Travolta, man.
He cries big blubbery ass off.
He was. I mean, he's a pretty fucking weird guy.
Cry for me, John Travolta. Give me your tears.
Save them in a jar, like.
Everybody knows that Tom Cruise collected his tears in jars. And he drinks them every night before he goes to bed. He gives them to little Siri or Sori or whatever his fucking his freaky daughter's name is.
Yeah.
She's the Antichrist. I firmly believe that she will grow up.
I guess she could be a woman
to bring upon the apocalypse.
We'll
it's like, I'm Siri Cruise and I've got fucking attitude, bitch.
Oh, now we're talking about Tom Cruise? I thought we were just fucking jumping shit from John Travolta.
We're just talking about everything all at once because they're all Scientologists. I guess so. Going back and forth.
I don't know anybody else who's like that's a Scientologist and that's famous, but that's the only two I know.
That's famous? There's quite a bit. There's quite a few. You wouldn't even know. They look like regular people.
It's kind of crazy.
Scientologists.
One of my favorite things Tom Cruise ever did was when he was on the Good Morning America and they're talking about like medications or something.
Oh, and he said he did.
And he's like, I know more than you. And he's talking to Hugh Laurie. What the hell's not Hugh Laurie? That
fucking Matt Lowry.
Yeah, Matt Lowry. And
I hate Matt Lowry, so he probably does know more than Matt Lowry.
He's like, I know more than you.
But no, but like
I've read
they edited it and took it out of context. And like, so I don't know what he really said. Like, we just saw snippets of what he said. Like,
I know, but it's funny.
like Tom Cruise, do you believe in the Holocaust? No. Didn't happen. Like, you could edit that together, like, and make it look like Tom Cruise is a Holocaust denier if you wanted to. Like, who knows what the fuck who cares? Why are we talking about Scientologists?
I don't know.
I mean, Tom Cruise, he's handsome. Don't get me wrong.
He's been on cruise control since 1994.
Oh, boom. Then he got off cruise control whenever he makes a Mission Impossible movie.
I don't know.
Ghost Protocol was fucking rad.
It was pretty good.
Fucking see my man Tom Cruise, almost 50 years old in that movie, just kicking ass.
Yeah, he was good in that, definitely. But this is not about
Scientology. This is not about abortion. Why are you talking about abortion?
Abortion.
Drink that abortion.
My girlfriend's pregnant.
Abortion. I think I love you. Abortion. Love you so much, I'll pay for your abortion, girl. You get paid for the state. So when we gonna get this done?
I'm pregnant. When we gonna get this done?
Yeah.
What? The abortion.
Somebody get a hanger. Yeah, so the verdict on found footage movies is this, and this is the emphatic last end word on the subject ever that anybody could ever say. Some of them are good, some of them are not. True. Sometimes they're pretty okay. Sometimes they're pretty bad. That's just life, man.
It is. I mean, I haven't seen one to really truly blow me away yet, but
no,
not one to be like, whoa, that fucking just happened.
Chronicle was actually the last like 15 minutes of Chronicle.
Oh, actually, Chronicle was.
That was pretty cool.
I keep forgetting that it's kind of a found footage one, but
it's not found. It's like it's just like handy cam. I don't know, POV cam. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it like people, the fucking douchebag era that we live in, that everybody owns a fucking camera, and everybody's always got it out because we all have phones and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it, like the last 10 minutes or so of like Chronicle is actually like some of the best like superhero fights I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so.
And then it's cool how they keep the momentum going with the cameras.
I hope in the future. Cool. I hope in the future that's they kind of like do more. If they're gonna continue with that style, like do more stuff like Chronicle.
Yeah.
Because it allows it to be a little bit more of a movie. Although I will say that as a criticism towards Chronicle, it was a little distracting sometimes, like the camera shit. Because he's always like controlling the camera, and then it would like shift perspective to the blogger girl at the party, and you're like, like.
I mean, I guess.
It was just it took me out of the movie a couple times. I'm like, oh, I'm watching one of these fucking movies.
Yeah. Damn.
Man.
But good twists, good movie, and I guess all in all, just you know, found footage / POV cam movies. They're fun. They make it a little more interesting, and it's something different.
They're fun, but like I wouldn't.
It's gonna get overdone, just like anything else.
Oh yeah, and it already kind of has been. Like they're gonna have to figure out a new formula, basically. Like it's nothing that you'd want to like fuck a kid over. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like you wouldn't want to go pick up a kid at a playground and fuck him so you could watch one of these movies. Like, if that was the price you had to pay, admission is too high.
Admission too high.
Admission is too high. Like, they're like, oh, come on, but you just gotta fuck this one kid. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't know.
One.
I mean, I do really want to see this. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? Paranormal Activity 4, man. We can go see it early if you just fuck this kid. I'd be like, God damn it. All right,
you
kid.
fuck the kid.
All right, kid. Drop them drawers.
Squeal, piggy, squeal. Alright, next one could possibly be about the most awkward moments of watching things.
What's the hardest like movie scenes to sit through? Usually it involves male rape.
Yeah, always.
It pretty much does.
American History X, that's pretty uncomfortable too.
Yeah, it is. Especially because those guys don't even look like they're enjoying themselves. Gosh.
They're just like, they're just like beat the shit out of them.
They look like they're raping them to just prove a point.
They are. That's
disgusting.
Pretty much.
I don't care. Like I have a feeling that's what those guys would be able to say. But like, what? I'm just not gay. I'm fucking make this guy's my bitch now. But like, no, dude, you're fucking a dude in the ass, man. That makes you gay.
That makes us gay.
Like, I mean, whatever. That's fine.
Well, I don't know how jail works.
That's fine,
so
but don't fucking. I don't know how the jail system works. Sometimes maybe you just have to fuck a dude in the ass.
I mean, if you really just driving for a smoke, you're like, man.
Just jonesing for it? Just jonesing to just blow a dude?
Yeah, dude, just get a couple pack of smokes and you're good to go for a week.
Just fucking sucking dicks and fucking asses and then
lifting
weights. Prison's great.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a gay man, it's just heaven. Actually, there's this like a really fucked up story. It's a true story. It came out of where I can't remember what prison it was. It was like Rikers Island or one of the bad ones. Whatever. Just like a really nasty one. Some state penitentiary this guy like got raped by so many guys in a row that his butthole like fell out.
It happens.
And he died. And
happened to me like 3 times yesterday.
Yeah, I watched some pretty fucked up porn.
Yeah. I was watching this porn. No, I guess I mean, I ain't no scientist, but you gotta take a break every once in a while. It's the healing process.
Yeah, I mean, especially after you get a couple few of black guys in there. I mean, he's like.
Yeah, you gotta assume there's probably some giant dicks in prison.
And that'd be really bad.
I don't know why we're talking about this.
All
right. Anyways, thank you for listening to
Chronicle. Go see it.
Yeah, go see Chronicle. Don't fuck kids. And my future husband's face fuck. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.